I decided to work abroad because I was finished with my degree, so I graduated, and after that I wanted to do something different because before I start to work in Germany and to get a different perspective on things.
I decided to come abroad to intern because I was interning back home and the internship I was doing wasn't very fulfilling, and I wasn't really didn't feel like I was learning a lot, so I went on the website and found an internship in DC, and that's how I ended up here.
Because there was a complete leak of opportunities in Spain, especially in my fields related with research and development, and I had this amazing opportunity with a granting program from our government in Spain, so I decided to come.
Actually, I'm from China, and I'm studying at Brandeis University, Boston. And it's a 2-year master program, so there's still 1 more year for me. And I'm working for the Inter-American Development Bank as a summer intern. So it's very good experience for me because I can get a better, clear picture of what I'm learning, and can put the theory I learned in classes into practice. So it's very valuable experience for me.
Well, I mainly came first time from Afghanistan to the US for 3 main reasons. One, because I knew that the image of Afghanistan abroad was not a very positive image, and I wanted to show what the real Afghanistan is. So I was hoping to represent, I'm still working on it, to represent Afghanistan in the best of what the reality is. Second, for academic, I came here when I was 13 years old. I came for studying, and I started my junior and senior year in high school. And third, I always wanted to do more than what was possible in Afghanistan, and for me it was coming to the United States to study here and then later on start working opened up a lot of opportunities.
I decided to study in the States because it was one good experience. Not everyone gets to study abroad, come to the States, get this well-rounded experience. I had a lot of friends who applied to come to the States. They thought that it was too expensive, it's too far away from home.
Yeah, no, I'm in DC. I'm a student at Johns Hopkins getting a master's in economics and international relations. So I'm a second year. I'll be starting up my second year this September, and being in DC, this is the place to do IR, and I knew I've always had an interest in politics and government, and this is where it is. So I imagine I could be here for quite a while, actually.
Well, I decided to study abroad because I was working back in Colombia, but the situation wasn't actually very good. So I thought that it would be a nice experience and that it would be something good for my resume to include some studies abroad.
It wasn't really difficult to get into the new workplace because they work mainly German, so it's kind of a German office, but in the US, and the language which is spoken is also German, so it was really easy. It felt like a little German bubble in the US. I think it took me like 2 weeks to get into everything and to familiarize with the working place, and there were not really difficulties for me.
I think the main difficulties were just figuring out like the politics in the office and how things were done, and just getting to know people really, and starting to feel comfortable.
Because my boss here in the United States, he is another Spaniard, so he helped me a lot in the adaptation process. Of course, it's always a different country and it's so different culturally, but it wasn't that bad actually.
And until now, I'm very familiar and feel very good about the working environment there. and I began to get familiar with the system and the documents there. And the people here are very nice, so they help me a lot.
Opportunities comes responsibilities and challenges, and for me particularly, I came from Afghanistan, which I lived most of my life under the Taliban regime, and so I had to catch up on a lot of things. First thing was language. I had to learn the language. Second thing was to learn about American culture, and third was to be able to integrate into the academics society in school and with friends, and be able to familiarize myself with the new curriculum and the new kind of social lifestyle that people had here. But in the meantime, what the main challenge is for most of international students, from my point of view, is leaving home. Home is sweet for a lot of people, and it's close to heart for a lot of people. So just leaving home, that first challenge, the first day you get on the plane to leave to another country, that itself is a challenge, in leaving everybody, loved ones behind, because you are ambitious and you want to do more. So the first challenge comes that you have to leave your family, relatives, and home, and childhood friends, and then of course the cultural shock comes in, the language difficulties, and being able to do your best in a new education curriculum, and be able to prove that you are the best as you were in your country.
I'm from Jordan. It's a long way from here, but I was born and raised in Kuwait. I studied in Kuwait. I went to an American university in Kuwait. That's why for me, when I came to the States, I had no cultural shock. I had no problems speaking English. Back then, when my dad came, he did not have the same facilities as me, so he wanted to give me this kind of experience, to come to the States, get this American spirit, get this goodwill of people.
So there were definitely difficulties, just the language barrier was tough, just trying to get around. Trying to use the bathroom, you know, didn't know how to say the bathroom for like a few weeks. That was a little rough. But eventually you start to learn the language, you find people who will help you to get to places that matter, like getting your phone, getting the international card, so you can call your mom when you're crying about how you can't get the phone, you know. It was definitely challenging, but I went with a group of about 100 American and Europeans, so there's kind of that surrounding comfort zone that I had to kind of help me throughout the process, because if it was just total immersion, it'd be too much of a challenge. It'd be definitely too much of a challenge, but I had a good support system, and I kind of gradually eased in after maybe 1 or 2 months, started to learn the language a little better, and I was able to get around from there. So I had definitely had a support system to help me out.
Not really difficulties, because I mean, thankfully, like I studied in a bilingual school, so I've been familiar, let's say, with English education or with American education since I was little. But it was kind of hard just knowing that I was going to live by myself without my family, and that I was going to be abroad without them. But let's say that it was just kind of the whole new experience, context, and maybe it was kind of hard at the beginning, but now I'm really comfortable with my situation, and I'm really comfortable living abroad.